Welcome, welcome! It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today we're going to be all about the ship naming guide. So this is available on the RSI website, the RobertSpaceIndustries.com website. So if you've never been there, well, I don't know how you haven't if you are playing Star Citizen. So this is all about getting to name our ships, which is coming in 3.13. And they go into pretty good detail here about how that's going to work. So previously, the only ships that were available to name were 600i Warbond concepts, and I believe the Corsair had the capability of being named as well. I am curious for you guys, let me know in the comments, what ships are you going to name? I'm kind of up in the air if I want to name my mid-size and lower-sized ships. I know I want to name my capital ships, but you know, even the 600Is, I'm not super keen on naming anything, you know, that means anything really. Like my capital ships are going to be the ones I want to have a real good name to them, or something that I'm going to be flying in on a regular basis, maybe. So let's go into this whole guide here. They have a little introduction here that talks about how it's coming into 3.13 and where to check on some other things. And then this is a quick reference here. You can click on one of these and it'll take you down to this link. But we're going to go through each and every one of them. So how to name your ship. So to assign a name to your ship, you've got to follow the easy steps that they have listed below. You're going to log into your RSI account on the website. You're going to go to your hangar, and then you're going to locate the pledge with a nameable ship. You'll see a tag indicating that the pledge contains a ship that can be renamed on it, as shown right here. The 600i right now has those for sure, because I've seen those, I've used those. You could click the arrow on the right side of the pledge, right here, to expand the list of pledge contents, and then click Rename Ship button to open the ship name dialog box. So this will pop up once you do that. Then you'll select the ship and enter your chosen name to rename your ship. You will be required to enter your RSI account password to confirm the change. So if you've ever had to melt something or gift something, you have to put the password in. It's the same thing when you're renaming your ship. It'll ask for your password. So definitely keep that in mind when you're doing this. Obviously, you're going to know your password. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to log into your account. But there is multiple steps to doing this. Then once you're done, you just click Rename right here, and it should change it. Now, they are going to limit you as far as what you can name your ship. You're not going to be able to use, you know, choice 4-letter words or, you know, some crazy stuff like that. So no cuss words, no inappropriate things, and you should be good. Once you've renamed it, it'll say success and, you know, move on. Now, a lot of your ship names could be reserved by the time it gets to you, unless you are like an original backer, which we'll get into the schedule here down below. But original backers, original concept cells, those guys should be able to name your ships right away. Now, there has been some discussion on a couple of different Discords and forums that I'm on about if you had an original concept and then you melted it and went and did something else and then came back and bought it with a buyback token, would you fall into that original concept group of people? And from what I understand, now this may not be 100% accurate, so take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a Star Citizen Leaks grain of salt. If you've melted that original concept and you bought back the token, so to speak, or used a token to buy back that concept cell, you are going to fall into when you did the buyback, not under the original concept. So keep that in mind for you guys who are getting things out of melt so you can name them and all that. You're probably going to be further down the list rather than at the top of the list because you had an original concept, because you chose to melt it. I can understand that point of view. I don't know, again, if this is 100% true, but the speculation is you're going to have to wait for whenever you rebought that ship. You're going to fall in that category. So they're also reviewing different options on how to limit how many times you can change a ship name. They don't want it to be something you can just change all the time. At first, that's what it's going to be, but somewhere down the road, they're going to change that up completely to where you can only change it, like once or twice, maybe 3 times. So keep that in mind as well. So ship name restrictions. So this could be pretty important. Be as creative as you like, but there are a few rules that you will need to follow as outlined here. A ship's name is unique to that particular model of ship, including any variants. For example, a 600i and an 890 jump can both be named Belligerent Duck, but 2 different players cannot both name their 600i the Belligerent Duck. The 600i Explorer, Touring, and Executive Edition are all grouped under the 600i series, and so they must have unique names. Names are on a first-come, first-served basis. There's a limit of 32 characters for a given name that must consist of letters, numbers, spaces, and dashes of any combination. Spaces and dashes, while allowed, cannot be consecutively repeated in the ship's name and cannot be on the outside of the name. For example, a ship named Proud-Mary is fine, but a Proud-Mary and a Proud-Mary are not allowed. The ship name must respect the RSI Code of Conduct and Terms and Conditions, Terms of Service. Repeated violations of the Code of Conduct may include removal of the ability to name ships or the suspension of the player's RSI account. Ships purchased in-game cannot be named at this time. So that answers one big question a lot of people had. Can you name a ship you bought in-game? And the answer is no, not yet. So maybe somewhere down the road, but not right now. Ship name FAQs. How will this system affect future ship releases? Once this technology is added into the game, all straight-to-flight ready ships will come packaged with the ability to name them. The restrictions noted above will still apply. Can I name a ship that I bought in-game with the initial rollout? No, I already answered this. No, you can't. Now, eventually, they'll make it something that you can do. It's just not available in-game as of yet. So, eventually, you'll be able to, I guess, tag your name in-game rather than through the hangar. How do I get a ship name that's already used? Does CIG plan to recycle inactive names? Once a ship name has been reserved or taken, it will be locked out and no one else will be able to use it for that specific series of ship. There are no current plans to recycle claimed names that go unused on active ships, be it for ships sitting in a hangar or ships sitting in inactive RSI accounts. Names on ships that have been reclaimed, refunded, or otherwise deleted will be released back into the naming pool. So if you name your ship and you melt it, that name's gone. It's back in the pool. It's free up for grabs. So if you are renaming your ship, you may want to check from time to time to find out if a particular name you're looking for is available. So what happens if I reclaim my ship? For ships gained via the pledge store, reclaiming the pledge will add store credit associated with the value of your ship to your RSI account. However, the name will be removed and can be taken by someone else, which we already talked about. What happens if I upgrade my ship? As noted with reclaiming the ship above, the name will be removed and it will become available for use on any ship in that series once again, because you no longer have that ship, so it's that series of ships. So you have to change the name, or the name will change or be put back into circulation. If I upgrade to a nameable ship, will I be able to rename it? Yes. Once the naming feature is added to specific ship models, any player that owns one of that type of ship will be able to name it. So let's say you're going to upgrade into a 600i when this whole thing starts up, then you will be able to name that 600i when your turn comes up. If my ship's name is found to be inappropriate, what will happen? CIG reserves the right to remove any ship name found to be inappropriate. There are filters and measures put in place to prevent the use of some terms and words. However, these are not perfect, and players may still find a way to get offensive names into the game. Should you come across a ship name you feel to be inappropriate, report it to the player relations team in a support ticket, and include the offending player's handle along with the name or model of the ship. Repeated name violations may result in the removal of the player's ability to name their ships and/or the suspension of their RSI account. So don't be an asshat. Yeah. Can I name my ship after my favorite CIG employee? While we're honored, no, you cannot. So there's not going to be any, Chris Roberts ships out there or whatever. That's probably a good thing. Ship name system release info. As mentioned above, for the initial ship name system release, we will be allowing players that own an eligible ship access to the name feature in waves. Placement in a given wave will be based on the date when the pledge in question was acquired. These are two important callouts for this. If a pledge containing one of these ships was reclaimed for store credit and then bought back later, the buyback date is what will be used to determine the wave access. So like I told you at the beginning of this video, you will fall back to when you bought the ship back. So like last week, if you bought your 890 back last week, you're in wave 4. So sad. If a player upgraded a pledge to one of these ships, the date the ship upgrade was applied will be used. So yeah, I mean, if you upgraded a while back, then you'll be able to be in a quicker wave. RSI support staff cannot assist with altering pledge acquisition dates to get an earlier wave. So on the 1st of March, that's coming up in a couple of days or a few days, wave 1, 600i, 890 jump, Hammerhead, Reclaimer, Mercury Star Runner, and Carrack will all be eligible to be named only by concept pledges, golden ticket holders, and that's it. That's it for wave 1. So you're either a golden ticket holder or you have the original concept pledge. Not a rebought concept pledge, but the original. Wave 2. All across the board is available for concierge. So that's a nice little perk. If you spend $1,000 on the game, you get to name your ships in wave 2, as long as wave 1 hasn't stolen your names. And that will happen on March 8th. Also, for the 600i, if you bought it in 2018, you'll fall in this wave. 890 jump owners, if you bought your pledge in 2015 or 16, you will fall here. Hammerhead 2018, Reclaimer 2014 post-concept pledges, 2015 pledges, and 2016 pledges. And Mercury Star Runner, the 2018 post-concept pledges. And then for the Carrack, 2015 and 2016. As you can see here, the list goes on and on. I don't need to go through all of these because that would be very tedious. The 600i Warbond concept pledges have had name reservation available from the outset. Players with one of these pledges have already reserved their names and need take no further actions. As noted above, the pledge must be in your hangar and not your buyback queue if you wish to take advantage of the special 600i Warbond perk. Non-Warbond 600i concept pledges will be in wave 1. So there you have it. That is going to be the naming conventions or the naming rules for your ships. Naming conventions are going to be completely up to you. I'm planning on having some naming conventions for the org if they wish to follow it. Hopefully they will. And, well, we'll just see. We'll see how all that turns out. What are you guys planning to name your ships? Do you not want to tell me because you want to keep it private so maybe you can get it before somebody else? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you like that they put together this FAQ, this guide for naming ships? Do you want to know where it's at? Here it is, right here. So you'll have to copy down that address here so that you can have it and you can go to it quickly if you need to access it for these name restrictions. Or you can just come to this page or this video and check it out again. I do appreciate everybody tuning in to watch the video. Thank you so much. Thank you to all my Patreon and YouTube members. You guys are awesome. You rock. Thank you to all my org mates. I am part of Texas. If you want to join an org, you can join Texas. Now, we are starting to limit the availability of people who join, but you're going to have to fill out a little questionnaire for us. Give us a little more than, hey, how's it going? It's all the YouTube channel. Because we want to kind of be a little bit more picky about who gets in the org going forward. So definitely be ready for that if you are planning on joining the org. But thank you once again. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.